sir. How you doing?
Hello, Felix. How are you? Doing
Not
well?
too bad. How are you?
Everything is good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's a busy day, but this I like it, and the weather is very gray, and
Yep.
it gets grayer and grayer day by day. But this is, I think, heavy metal weather, right?
Well, that's what they say. I prefer sunny weather
Me
anyways.
too. With the sunny metal boys.
Yeah. Anyway, and before we start talking about the Dead Don't Die, are you surprised with how well received Dominium has been in the metal community? Because it could have gone a bit tricky because zombie metal could be one of the things that people will think it's either too cheesy or you know but it worked, and obviously the music is good. But are you surprised with the reception that you got for this whole year?
I mean, surprised is a strange word because obviously I thought it's a cool thing, or we thought it's a cool thing, so we did it that way. So I mean, relieved would be a better word,
Okay.
maybe. I mean, I remember the first show that we played, man. It was in Hamburg, and it was, I think, in April 23, and nothing was out yet. Nothing. No single, no picture, no homepage, no Instagram, nothing. So no one really knew who we were. And we were like standing in our costumes backstage, and we're like, what is going to happen in 2 minutes? It would have been completely possible that people go like,
Yeah.
or just go grab another drink. But luckily, everyone went nuts. That was like the first indicator where I was like, all right, so they don't hate it. At least some, at least those 200 people that were there, they didn't hate it. But of course, I'm surprised by how much um, possibilities we received and were given that week. I mean, we played so many shows.
Yeah.
We played over 60 shows, I think. So, and this in the first year, I would have never thought this. And also like all that stuff that's happening right now, like playing at Wacken, playing Summer Breeze, having played Grass Pub. This is all, if you would have told me this 1 year ago, I would have gone, ah, so yes, I'm surprised.
But relieved at the same time that
Exactly,
that
exactly.
it's working. And you talked about the year that you guys been playing. Like you played with Bruce Dickinson for a few shows, played with Avantasia, Feuer Schwanz, which you guys are playing again. I mean, it's crazy for a band that's starting. Obviously, it's good to have connections. It's important,
Yes.
but it's still a new band, and to get those opportunities, I mean, it's not for really any band to get like that a good of a start.
Of course, of course. I mean, we are very lucky in our structures that we have. It seemed that a lot of things happened at the right time in the right place. I mean, obviously the music has to be good.
Yeah,
This is the same thing like you can have you can be zombies, or you can be pirates, or you can be Vikings, whatnot. I mean, it does matter, of course. Obviously, it's a nice gimmick to have that because I just like zombies, so I want to do a zombie band. But if the music was shit, you can have the best zombie makeup or
yeah,
masks in the world. No one will care about this. So I think this is the most important thing. And then one thing led to another. I mean, luckily I produced a lot of bands, so I had a network. But in the end, it has to work somehow, and
yeah,
it also has to work on a personal level. Not
yeah,
only um, yeah, it's cool we working together with those guys. It has to match, because you have to do so much with those
yeah,
people. You have to have a vibe.
yeah,
And this, in all cases, like with management, label, booking, also the band, it's just all good people,
yeah,
that you really enjoy talking to. And this is also an important thing, I think. And yeah, and then yeah, we just we work a lot, but you also have to have a certain bit of luck
Yeah.
to get those opportunities, of course.
Yeah. And once you get those opportunities, others will follow if you do a good job. That's normally how it works.
That's how it works. Exactly. Just don't fuck up and then it will be fine.
That's what I
No
say.
pressure.
Yeah, that's normally what I say to bands here in Portugal. It's they need to put in the work, and
Yes,
and they have to do some sacrifices in the beginning if they want
absolutely.
to go somewhere. And they cannot expect to release an album and just go on tour with a big band for free, or if not, you know,
No,
just getting money, whatever. And I told them that's not how it works. And,
no.
you really, and I think bands really need here, especially I think we live in Cuckoo Land. Most people, I don't think they realize the effort that goes into sometimes trying to get a tour, play shows, and, you know, have that when once you play the shows, have the credibility for to get other offers as well. Because as
Exactly.
we were saying, if you don't put a good job, forget about it. It's not going to happen.
100%. But the most important thing is that you are willing to work a lot and to focus your life about your band.
Yeah,
This is what needs to be done. Everything else is just it's very simple. I
yeah,
mean, it's a life dedication. And
yeah,
if you don't dedicate enough, the outcome is gonna be medium.
yeah,
But if you like put in a lot of work and try the best you can, and of course, I mean, at some point you have to decide who you are, right? I mean, I played, it's a stupid example, but I had this a few years ago. I played some guitar and I played piano and I also played drums. But at some point I had to like I really enjoyed doing all of this, but I had to admit, okay, I am not a drummer anymore. So I sold my drum kit because you need to focus on the stuff that you
yeah,
do. Otherwise, yeah, at some point you have to decide who you are and what
yeah,
you are. Are
yeah,
you a producer or are you a musician?
yeah,
See, right now I'm both because I have to, because touring is very expensive,
yeah,
as you know. But if you have a plan B, you don't have enough time for your plan A.
yeah. That's
That's the
why.
sad truth.
That's why I used to play guitar. I wasn't good enough, so I decided to do another thing that I like was, to try to interview bands, go to concerts, photograph, and
Yeah,
I'm able to do that, and that's I enjoy it. So, but I put the time and I put, you know, spend a lot of money in doing this. People have people. I don't, again, I don't think people realize how much of an effort you need to put to get to a point where you can interview big bands. They think they
of
can
course.
start and interview Metallica right away. I haven't interviewed Metallica, and I've been doing this for over 25 years, but I believe that one day I'll be able to do it. So, anyway, and let's talk about the new album, The Dead Don't Die. And one of the first things that came to mind when I read the title was an episode of Game of Thrones. What is
Mhm.
dead may never die. That was the name of the episode on season 2. And, I instantly that name came to mind. And it was funny that, after watching Game of Thrones like years ago, we got these The Dead Don't Die. And it's what the meme is all about. Zombies, they're dead. And how are you going to kill them? I love the idea. It's something that I probably wouldn't be able to think about, but
Yeah,
I think it's genius, to do something. Look, it seems very simple, but to get that idea, it's I don't know. So what goes on your twisted mind when you were writing the songs.
Yeah, well, I mean, with in this particular case, it was one of those examples where, I mean, my phone is full with lines. So I try whenever I have an idea, I just put it in that list. And then at some point, for example, with that, I was sitting in the studio with my mate and we were writing the song. And I was like, and I was like, what could I sing there? And I was like, don't be scared, the dead don't die. Yes! But I can't really tell you when I got the idea for that line. I think it just seemed very simple and accurate to say that. It's a very logical statement.
Yeah.
So this is what I liked about it, I think.
Yeah, and once you create your universe, so to say, and zombie thing, I think it's becomes easier when you live and write songs about it. It's kind of I won't say easier, but I think ideas probably flow in a way that someone like me who doesn't think about zombies would write about.
I mean, you can write anything in a zombie context. I mean, the first record was mainly about watch out, the zombies are coming. This was, I mean, here and there were a few statements. I don't want to talk it like make it smaller than it is, but it was when you do a first record with the zombie band, you can really rely on watch out, the zombies are coming, and everyone will be all right, cool. But on the second record, you have to think a bit further and I mean, you can make everything with this. I mean, for example, song "Happy Deadly Ending" is about a zombie that recognizes, all right, I will never die, but I would like to die because the life doesn't make sense without an ending.
Yeah,
Nothing makes sense if it's infinite.
yeah.
Nothing makes sense. If you have an infinite amount of money, it doesn't. You, you know what I mean,
I
right?
would like to try
So.
that, though.
I would like to. I would like to.
But
No, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
You
I
get the
know.
point. You get the point. So, and then this zombie wants to die, but he can't. So this like a philosophical question in a stupid zombie song, right?
Yeah,
So you can make everything in a zombie song. It's just a matter of because if you have a drinking song, most drinking songs are not called drinking song.
yeah,
They have some phrasing and some wording around it that are not we like beer. This
yeah,
is boring. Yeah.
yeah.
So you need some twists.
Yeah. And so, with being busy playing all so many shows and doing the tours, when did you actually start working on the songs for the new album?
Right after I finished the first record, I
Mhm.
never stopped writing music. I do one song a day. At least one idea a day I sing into my poor phone that has to listen to so much shit. And of course, 99% of it is complete nonsense, but I try to stay in the flow, This is because when you do a second record, um, you kind of have to prove it to yourself. Because the first record, everyone can do a first record because you have so much time. You
Yeah.
go to those people whenever you're ready and say, hello there, here's my record that I've been working for 39 years on. And then they go, cool, that first record was great. We like to do the second record 1 year after. And then you're like, all right. So, I mean, obviously, I didn't have like 39 years for that first record, but I knew that on a second record, everyone will look very close, carefully and see, is this now good songs or is
Yeah.
this shit?
Yeah.
So I never stopped writing songs. And I also tried to take the impressions that we got from the road and put them into that songs immediately. Because on the road, we kind of, I mean, as we are talking, and basically I'm talking all the time, but the more I talk, the more I know who I am.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to a therapist, he asks you two questions and then you talk for 60 minutes. And in the end, then you give him a lot of money, but in the end, you feel
Yeah.
better and know who you are, right? And it's the same thing with playing a lot of shows because you get the idea, the connection with the fans, and
Yeah.
after a show, you know a little bit better who you are as a band. And this is what happened. past in those shows we played, like infinite amount of shows we did.
Yeah. And one of the things that when I was listening to The Dead Don't Die, one of the things I realized and listening to the album is it's more epic and the bigger choruses in a lot of the songs. They seem
Mhm.
bigger, which,
Okay.
they didn't seem as much in the first record, but here you seem to kind of amplify the epicness of some of
Mhm.
the songs. Was that an intentional thing? It's something that, again, comes from the playing live and getting the vibe, something that you wanted to put into writing as well for this album?
I don't really know, to be honest, because it doesn't matter what song I write, if it's for Dominum or for anyone else, I always try to write the best song possible and the most epic song possible. And I already did on Hey Living People. I tried every song to be the best I could, but you are a slave of your surroundings. You know, whatever surrounds you has an influence on you. And so was that touring, and we did great tours with Peyton Parrish, with Bruce Dickinson, with Feuerschwanz, with Avantasia. So you have this metal surrounding. So I think
Yeah.
the record has just gotten more metal, has gotten a bit of street credibility. But I always try to write the most epic and best song in the world. So I wouldn't blame it on me trying to be more epic. I would blame it on the surrounding
Yeah.
more.
And one of the songs I enjoyed a lot was Killed by Life. That intro, a bit of a Celtic thing going on there, I would
Yes.
say. What was the idea? How did that song he started with that intro, or it was something that came after?
No, no. It's funny you ask because this song changed all the time, all the time. And there was a different main riff at the beginning, and then I think the chorus was a bit different, and then those modulation. I mean, it changes key all the time. The intro is in a different key than the rest of the song. This hasn't been there before, so this was the one we worked the most on. And then in the end, I felt like this. It felt like a Celtic. And then I was on the phone with my friend Ben from Feuerschwanz and asked him, you know what? I have this bagpipe idea. Would you be able to play that for me? And he was like, sure. And then he just did it and sent it over.
you know, that's a simple. It's a great when you can hum something to someone and he can play and it just works out perfectly.
It doesn't actually, because this those bagpipes, they are natural instruments. So you can't play every note that you have on a piano, all 12 notes, you can't play them on a bagpipe. You just have a certain range in certain keys. And of course, this song was the most unable to play key that exists for this instrument. So he was cursing a lot. He was cursing a lot, but he has his ways and his tricks and stuff. And he just sent over this file, and I replied, "Yeah, that's cool, thank you." And he was like, "Man, that was painful." But he's a complete pro, and he made it work. And this is so amazing that when you run into issues, that you find a way. And he's really good at playing this instrument, so he figured a way, and that's so cool.
Yeah. And you were talking about the song changing a lot. What was the one that didn't change much from the start? You remember?
Yes. What is always cool and what I really enjoyed is I had a few collaborations where the song was created in one room with another person, which didn't happen on every song. I mean, on all songs, actually, I collaborate with my friend Robin, but it's more like sending stuff back and forth, which is fantastic. I would completely lost if I wouldn't have that feedback loop with him. But if you're like in one room with one person and you get that direct feedback, if I play something, sing something, and then the one is like, "This is horrible," then I just sing something else, you know. And if he or she plays something, I was like, I think that's not it. And they are like, okay, cool, let's do something else. So you don't have those sleepless nights in between. You have a direct connection.
Yeah.
So that was the case with The Dead Don't Die. We wrote it in one day, and then we changed it like ridiculous amounts on the day after. But then it was done, and it was the same with one of us. That was also very efficient and very. We had a good flow, let's say.
Yeah. And I took notes for another couple of songs. Die for the Devil and This Is Not a Game. Another two
Uh-huh.
songs that really got the attention. Uh, Die for the Devil. I love the fucking title of it.
Die for the Devil. You like the title?
I love it.
That was actually a song that changed completely. It changed completely. It was a different chorus in the beginning, and then I wrote the other stuff around it, and I was like, oh fuck, the chorus is not strong enough because the verse was then so got me so much and hooked me up so much, and then I was like, oh fuck, I need a different chorus. So I took the part that the song started with because I had the chorus at the beginning, and then killed it to do a better chorus. This is suicidal, man.
Yeah.
Songwriting is just suicidal.
So I'm picking the songs that you changed the most.
Yeah, but it's cool. I mean, because it proves that working hard, and it doesn't matter what you do, working hard just helps to
Yeah.
make stuff good and better, hopefully.
Yeah, and with the album comes out at the end of December. You guys already have, tours with more shows with Feuerschwanz or the Nogan. You got those shows in December with Majestica, and then next year you guys go on the road with Glory Hammer. I mean, will you stop ever?
I don't think so. It will go on forever. At this point, it feels like it because my whole day is about zombies. Whole day,
All
all
day.
day, all day. So I don't have the feeling that it stops. It's a constant thing going on, but it's cool because it proves that people care about us and we care about the people. We have great relationships with our fans. We have, I mean, everyone says that, but I think we have the nicest fans on in the world. Like all the feedback that we get, it's always so lovely and so we want the people to feel good. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a zombie band, obviously,
yeah,
with we're zombies and blah blah blah. But the core of everything is always we want to have a good time.
yeah,
That's what it's about. We want people to feel good, and that this gets transported to the people, and that they give this back to us, this
yeah,
positive energy. That's a cool thing, man. That's
yeah.
really cool, and as I'm talking about it, I'm so happy because I prefer to be good mooded than bad mooded. So this is who we are and this is what we do.
Yeah, I when I work in radio, I used to work in the mornings, and no one liked to get up at 4 in the morning and work.
Of
So
course.
I was the grumpy one on the team, and the problem was that I wasn't really grumpy, but because I was portraying a grumpy guy, it became part of me, and and after the show, that kind of transported to the rest of the day for a long time. So I was grumpy all the time, not because I wanted, because I was just living that character every day.
Of course.
And just to get out of it, to snap out of it wasn't easy because it was like so many years, more than 10 years doing it. And you know,
But
but
how did you get out of it?
I just, stopped doing it. That was,
Okay.
I had
Yeah.
to, once I left the morning show, it was just like being able to sleep, in the morning. It was,
Yes.
it changed completely because,
But that's good for you that you managed to do that step because this is always what some people don't manage to do and stay unhappy,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, because getting up at 4 in the morning for 11 years,
Wow.
it's really hard. And
Especially when you go to metal shows as well.
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And, go to bed at midnight and to get up 4 hours later. And, you know,
Jesus.
it
I
was
can't I can't imagine.
it wasn't easy. Anyway, but you were talking about the fan base, and I'm wearing the Powerwolf t-shirt. I was in Berlin for at the Velodrome for the show. And that was one of the things that I was surprised and happy about, was how much the fans embraced the band and got into the thing, because I had seen Powerwolf a couple times, but not this big like they are now, like a huge band. And I wanted to
Yeah.
experience that and seeing them. And even though I didn't understand a word of German that Tilo was saying, he's a funny guy. And I could see that the interaction he had with the crowd, it really made me happy to be able to witness Powerwolf in their peak and seeing how much the fans are dedicated to them. It's,
Yes.
for me, it was like, this is a cool thing. And this is what I enjoyed about metal over 30 years ago. First time I went to a concert, was how much fans were dedicated and they were just happy to be there. And
Exactly.
it's good. It's something absolutely amazing to have. And I don't care where you're from, who you are, you're having a good time. It's all that matters.
That's it. I was at a Powerwolf show as well. It's a bit, I think it's 1 year ago, whatever. And it was also a huge arena in Bamberg. And I was just standing in the queue to get in. And all the people around, I just talked to them, It was like meeting some friends. I've never
Yeah.
seen them before, but it's just good people that want to have a good time. And this is what it's about, man.
Yeah. And with the album coming out in December, you said you work on a song, on an idea a day. How many ideas have you have already for a follow-up record?
I mean, I have many ideas, but I haven't scouted through them and haven't seen if they are shit or not. So yeah, I just want, just want to stay in the flow, in the mindset of writing songs.
Yeah.
That's just whatever you feel like is your thing. You have to do it as often as you can to hopefully get good at it.
Yeah.
What I try to do.
And do you feel you are more a musician now or more a producer? Because you do both. And how do you
Yeah.
put yourself now? Because I know it's, with a producer hat, it's different than a musician hat. But,
Yeah.
would you feel you are now more a producer or more a musician? Or it can be both?
I'm both, but it's not healthy because when sometimes you have to just go with your guts and just do something without asking yourself if this is any good. Just do it, and then at a day and day after, you can decide this was a good idea or not. But with this producer mindset, I always question things too early, maybe. So, and everything takes way longer than it would have to be. So it would be great to have a producer, but at this point, it's not possible yet. But unfortunately, I'm having both roles right now.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
I cannot imagine the struggle of, writing a melody and then the producer comes, okay, that's not good enough. And the musicians say, no, this is a good one. But the producer,
Yeah, of course. Of course. It's like a schizophrenic relationship that I have with myself.
well, it's as long as you can make a living out of it and have fun, which is the
Yes.
most important thing, is to have fun. I'm sure
Yes.
if you get to a stage where you're going too crazy, I think you have to stop one or the other.
Yeah, yeah. At some point I will have to, for sure.
But would you like to, make a career of, let's say, not having to produce and just be writing music and be on the road?
At this point, I can't really decide because I really enjoy doing both, and I also have to do both right now. So I didn't make any decision on there, but of course, Dominum is always the focus right now. But at this point, I'm really sorry. I have another two interviews right
Yeah.
now. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
It was great fun,
Yeah,
man, and I would love to talk like
yeah.
going on forever with you, but it
No,
was really cool. Cool
it's okay.
questions.
I'm sure probably next year we'll talk again or something.
I would love to. I would love to.
Right, Felix, have a great day and see you soon.
You too. See
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye bye.